the ACT. I'm Russ Gibbs and welcome to the final match day of this Pacific Nations tournament, and these two Pacific Islands giants going toe-to-toe at Seaford Oval. Solomon Islands and Fiji both come into this match on 3 points. Theoretically, either of them could finish top of the group. The Young Matildas match, of course, with Papua New Guinea has been cancelled this afternoon. Papua New Guinea unable to field a full team. So we will replace that with the Young Matildas gold versus Young Matildas green, which should be an absolute cracker from 4 o'clock this afternoon. Former Matilda Ashley Sykes will join me in commentary for that one. As it is, I'm flying solo for this morning's match. Solomon Islands had a fantastic win against Papua New Guinea on match day 2. Jemina David scored twice, Eileen Peggy adding the third. There is no Jemina David today. Her injury precipitates her taking part in a slightly changed Solomon Islands lineup, which we will run through shortly when the teams join us. For Fiji, a 3-0 loss to the Young Matildas. Well, it might have been expected, but coming off the back of a 2-0 win over Papua New Guinea, they will arrive here in high hopes as well. The conditions, though, have to be said, are not ideal. This rain, which you can see on your camera, has been coming down fairly steadily since this morning. We had a thunderstorm pass through in the early hours, and it seems unrelenting, as if it's not going to go away. What it will do, though, is will make for a nice zippy surface. Might make it tricky for the players, but it might make it highly entertaining for us watching at home. Solomon Islands have never beaten Fiji in 6 internationals. Fiji have 3 wins. There's been 3 draws. Fijians have scored 9 and only conceded 2. Here come the Solomon Islands, led out by their skipper Eileen Peggy. Fiji likewise by Sophie Dialowe. Let's go through these two teams, starting with the Solomon Islands. Margaret Kafella in goal. We think they're going to line up as follows. Charlie Saini might come in at right back. Claudia Virtue starts at left back. Lisa Solo and Edith Nari will partner in the central defence. Alicia Donga and Meslin Saipio will be the holding midfielders. 3 in a line across them. Alma Gogoni, Eileen Peggy and Madeline Arukau. And we believe Veronica Tolivaka may come in up front for the injured David. We will see, though, when they line up on the field. 8 substitutes named by the Solomon Islands. No doubt we'll see plenty of them before the afternoon, or morning I should say, is over. Fleming Serets-Leff, while the Fijian coach has gone with a 4-2-3-1. Merevesi Funga continues in goal. Sophie Dialowe will start at right back. Veniana Ranandi comes in at left back. Marioni Tora and Maria Anna Victoria Veronica will be the central defensive partnership. 2 holding midfielders in Vinisha Kumar and Jotavini Tabua. 3 in front of them. Philomena Rasia comes in on the right. Coletta Liki Dhula will play on the left. Semanasao back in midfield. Louisa Tamani Tuakula will lead the line, as she has done in the previous 2 games. 8 on the bench for Fiji as well. But the return of Semanasao is the big news. The playmaking number 6 who scored the opening goal of the tournament back on Tuesday, taking her place in the heart of the Fijian side. Very experienced match official in charge today, Rachel Mitchinson. Maggie Price and Paula Orlandi are the assistants. As the 2 captains exchange the pennants and the pre-match pleasantries. Fiji last met the Solomon Islands at the semi-final stage of the recent OFC Nations Championship. They went 3-1 thanks to 2 goals from Themanasa and 1 from Louisa Tamani Tuakula. So Fiji have the slight advantage, psychologically perhaps. A draining match for them against the Young Matildas, though. By the end of that encounter, there were players strewn all across the turf at the Australian Institute of Sport. It'll be interesting to see how they've recovered in a little over 48 hours. The 2 teams going through their final pre-match hype. Expecting a a decent competition here. The rankings would suggest Fiji are the favourites, 71st in the world. Solomon Islands, 105th. What we have seen, though, over the last week or so is those rankings, well, they mean next to nothing. Papua New Guinea, the highest ranked team in the tournament, and they've lost both their matches and haven't scored a goal. Arlene Peggy gets us underway. The Solomon Islands attacking the goal to our right. Meslin Saipio. Interested to see what sort of pace this game is played at. One we saw on Tuesday when Papua New Guinea were beaten 2-0 by Fiji. Wasn't the fastest game, technically very good though. Here it is Saini. Shaoli Saini brought into the side at right back, where Rose Sambiru has started both the previous matches. Prior to that semi-final match in the UFC, they met in the group stages of the UFC Championship. It ended in a 1-1 draw. Vanisha Kumar netted for Fiji, and an Arlene Peggy penalty brought the Solomons' response. Be a throw-in. For Ranadi. Chase was for Nassau. Beaten to it by Saini, but she's going to have it back again. Left full-back Veniana Ranadi. Renandi's come in to the side today. Marianu Tora, who was an absolute rock against the Young Matildas, lifts it into the penalty area. Nodded away by Votu. He picked up again by Rasia. Veronica's played it wide to Rasia again. They lift one towards Tamani Tuakula. It might break here for the centre forward, but just too much pace on it, and it'll be an easy pick-up for Margaret Kafella. Surprisingly largely unemployed in the 3-0 win over Papua New Guinea. The Solomon Islands goalkeeper dealt with everything that came her way rather comfortably. Arlene Peggy, who scored the third goal in that game. A cracker it was too. Kaleta Likidula has it. Peggy might be through here. First touch of the morning for Medavesi Funga. Fiji will be looking to reassert themselves in this tournament after that early loss. Arukau finds Tolavaka. Likadula brings it away from Alicia Donga, kept in by Alma Gogoni. Chance for Gogoni maybe to swing this into the penalty area if she can. Away from Ranandi. Does play it into the penalty. It's a good looking ball too. Coming in on the far post was half a chance for Madeleine Arukau. Couldn't wrap her left foot around it to get it on target. But great wing play down this right side by Alma Gogoni. And that's the first chance of the morning. Dare say it won't be the last. Plus, we're talking about the rain coming down. It does rain in Fiji and the Solomon Islands, of course. It comes down in tropical monsoons at some occasions, so they'll be well used to this. If perhaps not what they expected this time of year in Australia. It's a foul on Thema Nassau. Fiji want to get on with it quickly. Thula, tackled by Gogoni. Renandi. Thula. Renandi's ball is loose. Donga has it for the Solomon Islands. Here goes Gogoni. Peggy in front of her, looking to slide it towards Arlene Peggy. Tora is there again. She has been absolutely brilliant for Fiji this week, and they can spring in a counter-attack with Thula. Look at Thula. Edith Nari, who equally so for Solomon Islands has been their best defender in my opinion. Her partnership with Lisa Solo has blossomed throughout this week. These matches are the first that the Solomon Islands have played in Australian soil. Well, their men's futsal team has been here on a number of occasions. play our own futsal rules. Very strong challenge by Tulevaka, putting herself about. Nassau recovered from that knock that kept her out against the young Matildas. Tabua. Tamani Tuakula. Couldn't get it under control, and Solo can send it away again. The rain has eased off a little. Still coming down in that misty kind of drizzle that we get in this part of the world. Renandi's looking for an option. Wasn't much presented himself, and easily cleared by Claudia Votu. Peggy going to drift through the spaces. She is the most capped Solomon Islands player of all time. She's been adding to that appearance record throughout the week. She currently has 5 international goals to her name. It's closing in on Leida Samani's national record of 6. Team only making its debut on the global stage, of course, in 2007. Gogoni, Tolevaka, Peggy, beat to it by Venetia Kumar. Tamani Toakula, and here's a chance for Nassau, and Coletta Likizula is away, and she's quick, and she's goal side of the Solomon Islands defence. It's Likizula, and it's just won a goal. Dragged her shot across the face of Margaret Kafella. A good chance for Fiji. The creativity of Thema Nassau after the ball-winning ability of Venetia Kumar, and there was the pace of Likizula. Just not quite the finish she needed. Both these sides enjoy playing on the counter in their games that we've seen earlier in the week. Solo was a blind pass to Claudia Votu, who wasn't expecting it. It's a loose touch in midfield from Dialowe, unusual for her. Fijian skipper. Votu. Volley clear, acrobatically so, by the Fijians. Nassau. Dialowe couldn't get hold of that, and Gracia, who's been deployed as a right back here, and allowing Dialowe to play in midfield, which is probably her best position. She played at right back against the young Matildas, but it appears as if Filomena Gracia has taken up that position in the early stages today. Allowing Sophie Dialowe to use her ball skills and creativity a little further forwards. Tolevaka, who's been busy in the early stages. Nice turn as well, and gets a shot away. No trouble for Madavesi Funga, but a sighter for Veronica Tolevaka. Meanwhile, Louisa Tamani Toakula is after this. Solo has it for the Solomon Islands. Dialowe runs into Votu, who not only wins the ball, but she gets the throw for her team. You're watching live football on Bar TV Sports and YouTube Australia FA channel. Brought to you by Football Australia, Pacific Oz Sports and DFATs, the sponsors of this tournament. The co-funders that have enabled us to have this in Canberra all week. It's been a pleasure to be here and see these full international sides going at it. Arukau. Hopefully we see plenty more of it in the years to come. Eileen Peggy swinging it out towards Gogoni. Well read by Renandi. Gracia can launch it down the park. Sapio won it, but Kumar has it back. The two combative midfielders. Venetia Kumar. Here's a chance again for Fiji if they can get Likizula running at the defence. She'll fancy herself with her pace, the left winger. But Edith Nari manages to stop that attack from developing any further. .10 minutes gone, no score. A reminder that at 4 o'clock at this venue, Young Matildas will play an intra-country game, I should say, green versus golds, in the absence of Papua New Guinea, who just couldn't fill the side with 6 injuries. Ashley Sykes would join me for that. If you're in the area and you want to come along, there is a massive grandstand behind me here, and it has plenty of seats under cover. You won't get wet, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Should be a cracker. They brought in 7 new players, the Young Matildas, to supplement the squad, to enable them to have 2 full teams out in the park. And if you're of local interest, one of those is Sophia Christopherson, the new Canberra United signing. The youngster, good chance to see her in action as well. Here's Eileen Peggy for the Solomon Islands. It's won by Veronica, but Peggy's got it back and will run at the defence here. Enticing Funga from her goal. She thought about it and then thought better of it. It will be the Solomon Islands who get the throw-in. They are ranked, as I said, 105 in the world. They did reach number 92 in the FIFA rankings back in 2009, the Solomon Islands. Broke the 100. Into the middle. Good take, Funga. She wants to go early and long. Solo wins the header. Rasia hammers it towards Themenaso, who took it in nicely. Tabua finds Renandi. Tabua once more, and it's played forwards. Saipio, the up and under. This venue is known for its rugby league. The Raiders have been here before. Played many famous matches out here. For those of you interested in your geography, we are just across the border from the ACT, in the city of Queanbeyan. Come to many famous sports people down the years. Perhaps David Campese, one of the most famous, and David Campese Oval's not too far away from here, famous Australian rugby union player. Mark Webber, the Formula 1 driver, also from this part of the world. Here's Tamani Tuakula looking for the run forwards. Again, it just skipped off the surface. Sophie Diallowe couldn't quite get on the end of it. Well, it appears that the rain has almost ceased. It is coming down, it is very light. That'll be a relief to everybody. Filomena Rasia. It's not the best ball, it's easily picked off in midfield. But Fiji have it back again. Likudula-Dula. Nassau, good turn. Solo was touch tight to Tamani Tuakula, who scored a wonderful free kick in the win over Papua New Guinea. Fijian number 10, real threat. The physicality through the middle. You can see what the surface is like. Marioni Tora took a slip as she played that forwards. Hasn't got the long studs in. Saipio, lovely turn. Meslin Saipio, will she try her luck? Left-footed, she will. Finish didn't quite match the build-up from Meslin Saipio. Apologises to her teammates. On a day like today, that's not a bad option to have a pop from there. Renandi. Gogoni not giving her any respites. They've worked it out nicely via Tora to Likudula-Dula. Perhaps dawdled on it a little too much, but here's Nassau, Thema Nassau. She's been absolutely brilliant this week in the games she's played so far. We were really impressed with her. Golden ball winner at the UFC Nations Championship, so unsurprising. already heavily involved. Renandi. Challenged by Donga, who was caught twice in quick succession by Thema Nassau. The second time more heavily than the first. Not sure she wanted the ball back after the first challenge. Free kick for the Solomon Islands. Edith Nari to take. 4 in a line as far up as they can be for the Solomon Islands, but that's not beating Renandi. Saipio looks to send it wide. It falls for Tolivaka. Peggy almost broke kindly for Tolivaka through the middle. Saipio, rather hopeful punts in towards the penalty area from the holding midfielder. No real chances of note so far. The one good ball in from Gagoni, which skipped across the surface. No real saves either having to be made. Sophie Diallowe does well. Kumar lunged into the tackle, showed her studs. Rachel Mitchell wasn't having any of that. Will be another Solomon Islands free kick. Now the rain stopped, the temperature's risen slightly, but able to take the big coat off. Bartram Suri on the edge of his technical area for the Solomon Islands. Fleming Seretslev, well, he's still in the dugout here in front of us. Votu. Nassau looking for the run of Diallowe. Solo across, decides to just send it out of play. Votu's turn. Into their danger area. It's come back for Kumar, who strikes one at goal, and it zips into the side netting. Some on the Fijian bench thought that might have gone in. Closest the Fiji have come in the opening 18 minutes of the encounter. Solo, Votu, challenged by Diallowe. Fiji have twice been runners-up in the UFC Nations Cup, 2018 and 2022. Twice finished fourth before that, 83 and 98. They've got some defensive work to do here, and that will be the first corner of the morning. Diallowe back defending, and a chance from the set piece. Meslin Saipio jogging across to take for the Solomon Islands. Committed a fair few into this attack. Plenty in the penalty area to aim for here. Depending on the decent quality of the cross. Saipio floated into the danger area. Combination of Tora and Funga got it away. Nari's got time to pick a pass. Solo. Votu. Flag goes up on the far side for offside. Tabua skies that one forward. Nassau. Good challenge in midfield. Good opening so far to this one. Likudula dropping the shoulder into the air. Great run, Likudula, and the challenge came in at a vital time. A very important one too. And Fiji have their first corner immediately after the Solomon Islands had their first. Challenge at the right time for the Solomon Islands. Fiji's turn to perhaps swing something into the penalty area here with Koleta Likudula. No real wind to speak of today, even though you see that flag blowing slightly around. It's not too bad. Flag does make it look an awful lot worse than it is. There's no movement in the trees at all. At pitch level, when we had a stroll earlier on in the rain, which has started to pick up again, there was barely any breeze to speak of. Peggy on the chase, Diallowe back defending. And doing really well, steps away from Madeleine Arukau. Kumar. Tamani Tuakula. Clip ball forward for Likudula, who's had plenty of ball in this early stages. Went for the first time ball into the middle for Thema Nassau, didn't quite work out. But Fiji slowly growing into this one, and becoming more of a threat. They've had the best chance, that from the number 7, Likudula, who broke in and fired a shot just across goal. Tabua. Nari had to defend that. Otherwise, Nassau might have got in behind and been away. Well, perhaps the rain is going away. And the sun peeking through the clouds here at Seaford Oval in Queanbeyan. Match number 5 of 6 this week. The remaining match at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Young Matilda's green versus gold encounter. Come along and watch the stars of the future on your doorstep if you're in this region. Great opportunity to watch some outstanding footballers. Arukau was doing the defensive work there to get rid of it. Kumar's brought it down. And the handball has been given against Tolivaka, who was back there. They've gone early. Well, Rachel Mitchelton's not having it, but ambitious effort from Jotavini Tabua. That would have been something to write home about had she managed to lob Kafella from there and it stood. As it is, she gets the chance from the more orthodox set piece. Can she find the right delivery for Fiji to make the breakthrough? It's a flatter ball in, hard to deal with for the Solomon Islands. Been allowed to bounce in the penalty area. The Cardinal sin. Tabura again, beaten by Gogoni. Peggy, chance on the counter for the Solomon Islands. The pace of Alma Gogoni, but she showed too much of it to Veniana Ranandi, who's been caught on the follow-through by Eileen Peggy. No real sympathy for the Solomon Islands. They wanted to get on with it. Rachel Mitchelton wants to check that the left fullback from the Fijians is okay. Picked herself up to win the header. Saini forward. Torres slices it. Peggy can't put it over the head of Rasia. Dongas won it back for the Solomon Islands. Votu. Arukau. Tolivaka. They're pressing here, but Saipio's shown too much of it to Diallowe, and here come the Fijians in attack. It's broken for Tamani Tuakula, but her pass forward for Diallowe had too much heat on it again. But you You can hear the noise and the excitement when Fiji turn over the ball in loose play. Mesl inside Pio. Charlie Saini. Gogoni away again here. And Peggy's taking up a really good position inside her if she can pick her out. Took a while to do so and goes down to the challenge of Marioni Tora, but Tora just clipped her heels accidentally. No real decision to be made for the officials. 20 minutes to the break. Still waiting for our first goal of the morning. Solomon Islands 0, Fiji 0. First time volley by Likadula. Nari's tidied it up. Kafella under pressure from Tamani Tuakula has given it away here. Renandi. Tabua. Tora. Tabua. Peggy's interested, and Peggy's away. A foot race with Funga, and she's got there ahead of the keeper. The angle, though, is prohibitive for Peggy, and Tora is back to tidy up. Great stuff from the Solomon Islands. Diminutive in stature, Eileen Peggy, but some real quality. Once she got past Medavesi Funga, the angle wasn't in her favour. To her credit, she wasn't going for goal, I don't think. Tora back doing the defensive work as necessary. Mesl inside Pio with the corner. So Pio swings it into the danger area again. A whole cluster of players jump for it. Dialoe is going to get to the loose ball, and the break is definitely on for Vinisha Kumar. Looking to go cross field, but didn't have the power to find Tamani Tuakula. Just chasing it down and got it back. Likudula up against 4 Solomon Islands players here. Just a drop of the shoulder, and here they come again. Tabua. Likudula back for Renandi. Launched forward by Tamani Tuakula. Comes for Dialoe. Fiji knocking on the Solomon Islands door on the break again. Still no way through though. Fijian Women's National League, the Fijian FA Super League, only commenced in 2021. The VR builders Tavua FC have just been promoted into the top flight over there, so I'm sure they'll be celebrating that. Chance to play amongst the elite in Fijian's top women's Premier Division next season. Here come the Solomon Islands. Peggy finds Arukau. Looking back for Peggy again, who's looked the most likely, as you would expect of a player. And there's 5 international goals and is their most capped player. Well, won by Saini, Tolivaka. Saipio. Tried to go down the middle. Didn't quite come off. Peggy's won it back though. And here goes Arukau. She's got some space here. Opportunity for the Solomon Islands to try and pick a ball into the middle. But Filomena Rasia was back to make sure that there was nothing untoward for the Fiji defence to deal with. There's no sense that either of these sides are happy to go through the motions today. Likadula. Votu. Solo. Lovely pass that is. Gogoni up against Renandi again. Peggy. We're going to trick her way past one. Can she deliver something? Denied by Tora once more. An absolute rock at the heart of the Fiji back four. lost count of the amount of times in the match against the Young Matildas she threw her body on the line. Marioni Tora. And the rain has stopped. And the sky has brightened just in time for Meslin Saipio to swing the corner kick into the penalty area again with that trusty left foot. Everybody but Tamani Toakula back for Fiji. Plenty in there in green shirts too. The height advantage distinctly with the Fijians. Tolivaka hits it goalwards. Lovely turn inside. Didn't catch it as much as she would have liked. But beautiful first touch to get away from her marker. Haven't seen much of Tolivaka this week. Her first starts. In place of the absent Jemima David, who scored 3 goals in this tournament. The leading scorer. Had a nasty fall on Friday, injured her back. We wish her all the best for her recovery. Saipio sent both Solo and Votu scampering backwards with that pass. Solo looking for options, not much ahead of her. Votu is to her left. Adokau gets a throw off of Farasia. Saipio again pegging the intended target. Again slightly overhit. Been an entertaining match so far. Chances few and far between, but there's been half opportunities at both ends. Tabua, it came off of Donga and falls for Tolivaka. And now Saipio might put Peggy down the middle again. Not for the first time. Couldn't quite find the final ball. It's coming though for the Solomon Lions, you feel, in that respect, if Fiji continue to defend that flatly. Ranandi. Her header is loose. Peggy eased off it by Kumar. The Kuthula. Saipio on Tamani Toakula. A heavyweight clash and Saipio comes away with it. Solo under pressure here from Tabua. Done well there, the Solomon Islands, but that pass only gives it to Thema Nassau, who in turn loses it to Saipio, then wins it back again before Donga takes over. And for the third time, Nassau has it. Coming up to the final 12 minutes of the first half, live Pacific Four Nations Tournament football from Seaford Oval, brought to you by Football Australia, Pacific Oz Sports and DFATs, live on Bar TV and Football Australia's YouTube account. Hope you're enjoying it. Another reminder, 4 o'clock this afternoon, Australia Gold v Australia Green. Ashley Sykes will be in commentary with me for that one. Really looking forward to seeing her, listening to her insights and watching the start of tomorrow. Rasia. Picked off by Nari. Second chance for Rasia. Deal away. Tabua. Solo hammers it down the park again. No one in a green shirt though anywhere near the vicinity of Madavesi Bunga. Tora. Ranandi. Lukuzuluzula. Lovely drop of the shoulder to get past Saini. Nari comes across with another expertly timed tackle. Central defender. Nassau, lovely touch to get away, and then went for the extravagant with the outside of the boots. Neither a cross nor a shot. Looking at the quality of the defending in the Pacific Islands. Edith Nari from the Solomon Islands, Marioni Tora from Fiji. That would be some centre-back partnership in an all-star squad. Both have been their respective heartbeat of their team this week. Ably assisted by the rest of their back four, of course, it must be said. Fiji just beginning to see a bit more ball here. Tamani Tuakula has taken it out of play. So we wait for our first goal of the morning. Themanasau scored after half an hour of the win over Fiji. Louisa Tamani Tuakula with 6 minutes to play. Solomon Islands goals, well, they got too early against PNG. Jemima David inside the first 11 minutes. Their other goals came on the stroke of half-time against Young Matildas. David again. And 2 minutes from time when Eileen Peggy iced the cake against PNG. Sapio was called up for a foul. We saw one on Likudula. Mentioned at the top of the broadcast that Rachel Mitchinson is a very experienced official. Great opportunity for our Australian officials to referee international matches as well. Entrance is free here today at Seafield Oval for both this match and the 4 p.m. kickoff. So if you're in the area, looks like the day's brightening up a bit, so come on over and have a look. Meslin Saipio, who was pinged for that foul, has actually come off worse here. The combative number 6. She'll require a little bit of treatment. The loss to the Young Matildas was actually only Fiji's second defeat in their last 8 internationals. The other, heartbreakingly so for Fiji, being the AFC Cup final loss to PNG in July. The result that means that PNG will go into the Interconfederations playoff, Group C, where they'll meet Panama for the opportunity to play Paraguay or Chinese Taipei for a place in the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup, which of course we all know has been played in Australia and New Zealand. Solomon Islands defending with 10. Likudula with the free kick, nodded on by Tora in the general direction of Tamani Tuakula, but Margaret Kafella was able to comfortably claim. Nari Gagani caught by Renandi, or so she claims, on the knee. Referee saw nothing untowards, maybe on the follow-through of the volley clear by Vediana Renandi. He's come into the side, as I said, at fullback and done a really good job on the tricky winger from the Solomon Islands. Likudula giving Saini a torrid time in the early stages of this match. Charlie Saini has come more into it defensively as we've gone on, though. Getting to terms. Tabua once again. Again from an ambitious distance. She fancies a specky today, does Jotavini Tabua. If she catches one right, you won't put it past her. Still chatting on the sideline, Bartram Suri with Meslin Saipio to see whether she can continue. See whether she does rejoin us. I think she probably will. Just getting a quick drink. One by Nassau, and she's away here. Thema Nassau, real chance for Fiji. It's Nassau on a plate for Tamani Tuakula. She was not going to miss. A simple finish from Louisa Tamani Tuakula. Put on a plate for her by Thema Nassau. The midfielder might have scored herself while she's given one to the centre forwards, and Fiji make the breakthrough. 6 minutes before half-time. And Louisa Tamani Tuakula adds to her international goal tally. A little bit of injection of pace from Nassau, and well, we all thought she might have finished it herself, but completely unselfish Solomon Islands, well, they were down to 10, and they've suffered. And Fiji have the lead. Louisa Tamani Toakula. President Saipio is not going to rejoin us either. It's going to mean a change for the Solomon Islands. Galling for them that they were down to 10 at that particular stage. But even the presence of Saipio might not have been enough to stop Thema Nassau. Change has been made. Saipio off. Francina Mautai has come on. The number 16. She'll see 5 minutes or so of action at the end of the first half. Big loss though, Saipio. I doubt Louisa Tamani Toakula has scored an easier international goal. Could be wrong, of course, haven't seen them all. Here's Peggy chasing after this one. Flag does go up though, so it will be in vain. But Thema Nassau just plays with a nonchalance and confidence. Strolls around the park, and you can see how calm she was when she was in on goal. Just to pick the right option. There was every chance in the world she probably would have scored herself, but made absolutely certain for her country by passing it to the number 10. Here she is again. Tamani Toakula charges it down from Votu. Rasia launches one, looking for the cross, rather shanked it off the side of a boot. Solomon Islands just need to resettle here and regroup. It's always disappointing to concede, even so, more so when you're down a player. Kumar plays it to Ratia, who lifts it forward. Tamani Toakula. Strike from Tabua again. Well, as I said, not afraid of a hit today, Jotavani Tabua. That's her third effort on target, or off target I should say, but third effort on goal. Vertu. Mautai. Diallowe played it forward. Tamani Toakula won it, but collided with Solo at the same time. Peggy Arukau backing her pace against Rasia. Good pace too, but Sophie Diallowe was back to help out. The Fijians 2-on-1 on that wing. Tamani Toakula. Nassau pace to get away again, and she's round the keeper and been cleared out here. And that will be a free kick. Very close to the penalty area, and a yellow card for Margaret Kafella. An easy decision for Rachel Mitchinson. Thema Nassau got there ahead of the keeper, was round her and was cleaned up. Perhaps only the direction of the ball away, preventing that from being a red card. The first touch took her away from goal. Well, it is a free kick in a position that Louisa Tamani Toakula really enjoys. We saw one from a similar position at the AIS earlier in the week against Papua New Guinea, which Faith Kasare pushed away for a corner, and she did score at the opposite ends from a free kick as well. So the left footer will tee this one up and will fancy her chances. Margaret Kafella setting up the wall. Louisa Tamani Toakula to pace it out. The free kick experts. Can she hit the target? Tamani Toakula, it's dipping, but it's always started its trajectory just a little too high. Margaret Kafella got away with one. Thema Nassau picked herself up, seems okay. But again, it was that injection of pace just to get her in behind. Didn't look like she was his favourite to get that ball. Somehow managed to do so. Rathia out for the throw into the Solomons on the halfway line as we approach stoppage time at the end of the first 45 minutes here at Seaford Oval. 1-0 to Fiji. Solomon Islands looking for a response right on half-time. They scored right on half-time against Young Matildas, remember. We're going to have 1 minute of time added on. Gracia. Kumar slides into the challenge. It's been swept wide by Tamani Tuakula into the path of Liku Dhula. Only Nassau ahead of her and Tamani Tuakula now. Tabua. Away from Tolivaka. Tamani Tuakula. She tries her luck from a long way out. Easy enough for Margaret Kafella. It's very much as if Fiji will go into the lead, half-time break with the leads. They've had slightly the better of it and slightly the better chances. Most importantly, as Rachel Mitchelton brings the half to a close, they have the goal. The goal that is the difference. 5 minutes before half-time. It was when the Solomon Islands were down to 10. Meselin Saipio was getting some treatment and Fiji took full advantage. Thema Nassau showing her skills to break clear and then putting it on a plate for Louisa Tamani Tuakula, who scored. And that's the difference at half-time. Here at Seaford Oval, it's the Solomon Islands 0, Fiji 1. No, I'm here. I mean, whether they'll be coming to be WBA story, they need to get the number 6. Number 6 is 270 defending the I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Next time you go upstairs, you go back to school. I'll go to the I've got my down yet, but I'm not going back up there. If you like, just chat there. See you in a bit, John. Welcome back to Seaford Oval for the second half of this international match between the Solomon Islands and Fiji. Fiji lead thanks to a goal from Louisa Tamani Tuakula 5 minutes before the break. Put on an absolute plate for her. A silver salver, if you like, by Thema Nassau. There's been 2 changes at the break. The Solomon Islands have taken off Veronica Tolivaka and replaced it with Lorena Solosaya, whilst Fiji have made a defensive change. Veniana Ranandi has been replaced by Angeline Reka, who's been playing fullback for most of the week. And she'll slot in onto that left flank for the Fijians. So 1 change apiece at the interval. There's 1 change in the first half, of course, by the Solomon Islands. Mautai came on for Saipio. First early touch for Kafella, who got a yellow card in the first half for her challenge with Nassau, which resulted in a free kick. Here's Lisa Solo. Claudia Votu. Mautai couldn't get on the end of it. Tamani Tuakula. Nassau drifts away past a couple of them, and Nassau are going to take on the entirety of the Solomon Islands defence here on her own. Tamani Tuakula. Just a silky player to watch, Thema Nassau. Outstanding footballer from the Fijians. Everything positive goes through her. Sophie Dialloe looking to wind up a long throw here. She goes short, as I say that, rather typically, and then lifts it into there. Should be easy for Kafella, but it wasn't. Should have been, but she dropped it, the goalkeeper. Perhaps a bit too easy. Took her after it for a second. This is live. Pacific Nations Tournament from Seaford Oval. Solomon Islands versus Fiji, brought to you by Football Australia, co-funded by Pacific Sports and DFATs. Culmination of a week. Match number 5 this, match number 6 at 4 o'clock tonight. Should have been Australia versus Papua New Guinea, but the Papua New Guinea side has been decimated by injuries, so they've unfortunately had to pull out of that match. So the Young Matildas green will play the Young Matildas gold. Live on this channel, whichever one you're watching on, be it Bar TV Sports or Football Australia YouTube. Ashley Sykes will join me in commentary for that one, and hopefully the weather will stay a bit like this. It's overcast, but the rain has ceased. A little bit of sun in the air, temperature's a bit better. Here's Dialloe driving at the heart of the defence. Tabua. Rasia offering from fullback. Dialloe tried to take it in their strides to turn her marker. Slipped on the wet surface. Lisa Solo. Eileen Peggy, who is the bright spark for Solomon Islands in the first half. Directing her team around the park as well. Very experienced footballer, Eileen Peggy. She's won possession there and has been sent forward by Mautai, and the flag goes up. Maniveti Funga came a long way anyway to meet Alukau. Unnecessarily so, as it turns out, but she wasn't to know that. Marioni Tora to send it forward. Alukau's header. Long throw from Tora, won by Vutu. Mautai. Solosaya. Saini. And that flag will go up again against Gogoni. Went way too early. You can see that from here. Nice easy one for the officials to make. Solomon Islands finished 3rd at the 2022 AFC Nations Championship. They defeated Samoa 6-5 on penalties after a 1-1 draw. three sides that finished in the top 3 places of that OFC Nations tournament have been here this week. Papua New Guinea, of course, won it. Fiji were runners-up. Solomon Islands in 3rd. Touch from Tabua, Gracia, Dialowe. Flag goes up though for offsides. Making Kafela's save from Nassau's volley moot. Lisa Solo was trying to steal a few metres inside, or about 15 of them as it turns out. We have time to bring it forward anyway. Looking for Peggy. Took it down nicely, was caught by Rassier as well. Free kick, Solomon Islands. Francine Mawutai thought about taking it early, but then has left it for Lisa Solo, who can perhaps get a bit more distance on it. Lorena Solosai would be an obvious target down the middle. Peggy the other side, less so, beaten in the air. Dialowe, Tamani Tuakula. Mawutai has it back. Peggy. Solosai made a good run in and has left a huge amount of space here for Alma Gogoni if she can keep it in play. She's done well there. Solosaya. Back to Edith Nari, who's happy to go all the way back to Margaret Kafela to start again for the Solomon Islands. Try and draw Fiji out. Solo. Mawutai turns into trouble. Tabua was right there. It's bounced fortuitously for the Solomon Islands and Solo. Reka came across to get in front of Solosaya. Dialowe forces her way past Mawutai. Tamani Tuakula looking for Dialowe, who was just eased off it by a good piece of defending from Vertu. Just looked to be getting in a stride there, Sophie Dialowe. Fiji have started the second half very well. Many sporadic moments for the Solomon Islands at the other end so far. As the weather has improved, the crowd slightly got a bit bigger. A few more people have come through the gate. Now it's not sheeting down with rain as it did earlier. Woke up this morning as I live nearby to grumbles of thunder, a few flashes of lightning. Vanisha Kumar. Peggy against Rasia, and she's come away with it, Eileen Peggy. Dialowe snapping into the challenge. And the Fijian skipper gets her team a free kick. A chance perhaps to put something in and around the Solomon Islands penalty area. The young Matildas were the first side to stop Fiji scoring in 11 matches in 2022. They always score, and they have done again today. Louisa Tamani Tuakula, 5 minutes before the break. Tora sends it in. Should be easy enough for Kafela to see out. Both these teams have 3 points, as I mentioned, on the table. A bit of pride to see where they'll finish on the final standings. Arukau looking to charge forward against Veronica, who gets away from Maria Ana Victoria Veronica. Peggy fizzes a shot in. Tora stands firm. And perhaps Fiji on the break. Tamani Tuakula looking to lift one down towards Liku Thula, and we've seen her pace in the first half, and she's streaming after this. Great piece of defending by Shirley Saini. Matched her stride for stride, the Solomon Islands right back. And now can bring it forward at the other end. Only momentarily. Kumar. Finds Likuthula. Peggy. Opportunity for Gogoni to swing it in. Didn't get enough on it, really. Donga can win it back. Moatai. Good step away. Had to look. And played it in, and a real opportunity here. It's Arukau. It's 1-1. Madeline Arukau got away. And the Solomon Islands have got themselves level. Slightly against the run of play, you'd have to say, but do they care? Well, not a bit of it. Madeline Arukau finishes it off, and we're all square again. It was a great ball from the midfielder Francina Mawasai to find her. Arukau's first touch was excellent, and the finish to beat Merevesi Funga. 11 minutes after the break, we are all square again. And you can see what it meant to the Solomon Islands. Fiji, who I said was starting the brighter in the second half, and perhaps had the better of it. Well, they've been pegged back. The Solomon Islands have now scored in every match in the tournament. Any side other than Young Matildas to do so. Tapua launches a free kick forward. Looking for an instant response with Dialowe. Well, it was rather played into her shins more than anything else, but it almost ricocheted past Kafella. I mentioned earlier that the group stage in the UFC between these two ended in a 1-1 draw. That's what we've got at the moment. Semi-final win the way of Fiji by 3-1. Gracia. Veronica. Solo looking long. Looking for Arukau, almost found her as well, but only for Veronica sticking her leg out. Peggy dancing across the turf again. Looking for a ball in for Solo Saya. Gogoni had come in as well on the far post. And Reka had to get in between both of the Solomon Islands players to clear. Only the touch let down Alma Gogoni, otherwise she might have been in on goal. Good touch, Tabua. Likuthula's quick, but even she knows her limitations. Gave up on that one a long time before it rolled out of play. All of the Solomon Islands players play their club football in the islands in the Telcom S League. Only just begun the women's version. In the men's version, Koloale and the Solomon Warriors have won the title six times apiece. The two dominant sides in the men's competition. Women's just getting its feet on the ground. Dialowe forced out of it. Will be a Fijian throw as the sun peeks through the clouds for the first time this morning. Half an hour or so to play in this international match. Votu and Dialowe with the battle. Tabua's turn to fight it out with Eileen Peggy. Fiji have the throw. Pushing for their lead back. Kumar caught by Peggy, was she? No, say the officials. Solomon Islands, well, they have the bit between the teeth now. Got themselves back on terms. Dialowe with the throw in. Votu's clearance comes off Arukau. Not ideal for the Solomon Islands, but they managed to keep hold of possession. Peggy, Votu. Arukau, the goal scorer, holds off the challenge of Tamani Tuakula, and they can break again here, the Solomon Islands, and break in numbers. Look at the tracking back from Nassau. Brilliant. Recognised the danger, came back to get it, and looking to prompt and probe as their team go forwards. Tabua. Couldn't keep it in play. Goal either side of the break is the difference. At the moment, we're all square. Tamani Tuakula for Fiji. Arukau equalising for the Solomon Islands. It's come off the shoulder of Razia. Touch from Tabua was too heavy for Diolowe to get hold of, and the momentum shifted slightly here, subtly in favour of the green-shirted Solomon Islands. They're riding the wave of that goal. So, there's ranked 71 in the world, with Fiji against the one ranked 105th. And nothing between them on the pitch today. Votu. Tamani Tuakula didn't appreciate the close intentions of Claudia Votu. Reka leaves it for Tora. Gogoni putting the pressure on the substitute, the half-time change, Angeline Reka. Likudula. Reka, long ball forward. Votu needs to win the header. Does. Nari away. Turned that into a good ball to Gogoni. Solosaya will chase after this. Tora tidies up for the Fijians. Reka again with the long ball forwards. Thema Nassau in the number 6 shirt looking rather disdainfully at her teammate at that ball. Wondering what on earth she was looking, what picture she saw in her mind. The Thema Nassau death stare. When Fiji have got their ball playing number 6 in attacking positions, they've looked incredibly threatening, of course. And you wouldn't bet against her having another say before the morning's out. Fiji on the attack. Reka with the throw. Swing it into the penalty area. Swept away by Arukau. Solosaya on her own, able to bring it down. There's no Fijians near her at the moment. Tabua looking to rectify that. Gogoni showed too much of it to Reka. That's it back again though from Saini. And then was looking for Donga, but the pass was never really on there. Kumar. Nari away. Straight back in by Likudula. Solo with the hefty clearance. No one can get under control at the moment. Kumar finds Diolowe, looking for Tamani Tuakula. Flag is up. Scrappy bit of play between both sides. Neither midfield able to put their foot on the ball. The win over PNG in match 2 of this competition was only the Solomon Islands' second win in regulation time in 8 matches this year. The other was a 1-0 win over Tahiti in the OFC. It's a firm challenge by Solo. Breaks for Kumar. Takes a deflection. It might fall here for Diolowe. Kafela came confidently down by the goalkeeper. And now releases Votu. No hanging around for the Solomon Islands. Mautai. Gracia's touch. Tabua, who's been a rock in midfield. Gracia. No touch from Tamani Tuakula, but Donga came back to clear up. Loose balls in midfield, just being picked up here by the Solomon Islands. Mawatai looking for Adakau. That's Peggy infield if she wants to find it. Now Peggy up against Tora. Solomon Islands playmaker has it. And still has it. Bouncing off of Fijians. And Adakau can't keep it in play. Small in stature, big in heart, Riley and Peggy. A real mismatch between the three players that were trying to take the ball off her. Low centre of gravity and a wonderful technique from the Solomon Islands number 10. Solo Saya's done well to win this back. Adukau, good ball into the penalty area. Gogoni coming in, great header away by Reka. Needed to be. And Sani's beaten to it by Kumar. Likudula up against Gogoni. Good foot race this. And Likudula backing her pace. Nari was just trying to shut down the channel. Reka swings it in. Away by Votu. Otherwise it may have found Tamani Toakula. It does in the end anyway. And Tamani Toakula firing it in from an improbable angle. And forced a save from Kafella. Would have been some finish from out wide there from the goal scorer. Good action at both ends. You could just hear the noise as well, picking up from both benches. Both teams feel that there's a win out there for them today, and an international win is not to be sniffed at, no matter where or when. Solosaya. Reka out there. Solosaya does well. And that's not a bad ball across the 6-yard box, unfortunately, for the Solomon Islands. No one in a green shirt have gambled. And all the hard work from Lorena Solosaya goes to waste. Knocks a good ball away by Dialoe. Mawatai. Peggy. Gogoni. Got away from Reka. Gogoni. Torres forced her wide. Still with him, Marioni Tora. Peggy's there. Solosaya's there too. But Tora has come away with the ball as is her wont. Seen her 3 times this week, Marioni Tora, and when she puts her mind to winning it, she generally comes away with it. More defending to do here. There's another example of it. Reka sends one forward. Easy win for Solo. All of a sudden, Solomon Islands are quickest to everything that's bouncing around, but they've got to be wary because the Fijians love a counter. Dialoe for Tamani Toakula. Dialoe went for goal herself. Oh no, it's a fumble. It must be. No, it's not. Because as Themanasau looked to tap it into the empty net, that is a brilliant bit of goalkeeping. Brave from Margaret Kafella. Put her body on the line and just stopped Nassau from getting the simplest of tap-ins after she fumbled the original shot. Wonderful bit of goalkeeping from the Solomon Islands number 1 after her initial mistake. She rectified it and threw herself in front of it and somehow kept it out. If you're going to make a mistake, make up for it. And that's exactly what Kafella did. Shot from Dialoe was harmless enough. Jacqueline Ikama is about to come on for the Solomon Islands in a moment. Probably at the next stoppage. This one's bubbling along nicely here. It will be the goal scorer, Madeleine Arakel, that comes off. Her job is done for today. Her job is done for the tournament. Jacqueline Ikama will come on. .20 minutes to play. 1-1 the score. Both teams have had chances to go in front. Mawatai has come off the knees for Tabua. Likudula. No one in support, really. Gogoni. Reka's taken it off her. Nassau goes for goal from a long way out. Kafella watched it all the way in. Would have been 1 or 2 nerves after the previous fumble. Appears to have been an uncharacteristic mistake from Kafella. Hasn't made many this week. Very good in goal for the Solomon Islands. Lost 2-1 to the Young Matildas, and they would have been pretty happy with that result. So much as they were with a 3-0 win over Papua New Guinea, though. Superb result for the Solomon Islands, that one, and here they are, holding the might of Fiji and putting them on the back foot for quite a lot of this second half as well. Rasia. Ikama got a touch on it, Votu, and here goes the substitute. Jacqueline Ikama, half a yard on Rasia, who needs to time her challenge here. Did just enough. This is more like the weather we were expecting this week in Australia. Sun is out, beaming down on Seaford, but because of the rain we've had, it's very muggy. Here come the Solomons. Peggy, shooting chance from the edge of the area, drops the shoulder. Eileen Peggy with a hit, and it wasn't too far away. Menevesi Funga watched it go, and an inch or two over the crossbar. Eileen Peggy, almost for the Solomon Islands. It's well picked off in the first place by Lisha Donga in midfield. It'll be quite easy for both these teams to be going through the motions today at the end of a long week of training and playing. But as you can see from what you've been watching, they both want to win here. They both can sense a win. Mautai, Ikama, Kuma for Fiji. Tabua just helps it on to Nassau, who in turn plays it for Tamani Tuakula. Nassau wants it back. 3 Solomon Islands players there, and it's a mistake. And Nassau gets a shot away. And Kafella makes a save. Went with the outside of the right foot again. Thema Nassau. But it's been an absorbing watch, hasn't it? It's been plenty for us to see. Difficult one to decide which way it's going to end up. Signing. Rekka will need to go back and tidy up here. Concedes a throw, but with 2 Solomon Islands shirts around her, that's not a bad outcome for her. Mentioned the Solomon Islands only started playing international football in 2007. Fiji's debut at international level was in 1983. They lost 2-0 to New Caledonia. Since then, they have grown in stature to become one of the biggest sides in the region. Football in Fiji, it's a very well supported game. Offside here against Gogoni. Very demanding public, they would expect a win today against the Solomon Islands. It's not going all their own way. Looks like Fiji are going to make a change themselves in a moment. Vivi Bulka is ready for action, getting some final words from Fleming Seretslev. Gogoni. Donga. It's come off Peggy, fallen for Dialoe, who looks to send Rasia forward. She'll chase it, but the ball, I think, will just beat everybody. For the minute, Rasia put a real effort into that, but it was always going to skip away off this surface, which had that rain on it earlier. Fleming Seretslev asking his team to push a bit higher up to try and peg the Solomon Islands in a bit. Peggy plays around that press. Votu. Ikama. Can't keep it in. And this will enable Fiji to make the substitution. And Angeline Rekka is coming off here, who only came on as a half-time substitute. So you can only assume, perhaps, that she's picked up a knock of some description, because the substitute has been substituted, and Avivi Buka will go on at left back, it would appear, unless there's a tactical shift. We will see. Thema Nassau. Hefty challenge by Lisa Solo. Quarter of an hour to play. 1-1 at Seaford Oval. Reminder, 4 o'clock tonight. Australia Gold v Australia Green. At this venue. Free entry if you're around. Or watch it on Bar TV Sports and Football Australia YouTube channel. Myself and Ashley Sykes will talk you through that one. Great to hear the insights of Ashley Sykes, Canberra United legend, Matilda's international. Judging by the weather we have now, if it stays like this, it'll be a very pleasant afternoon for everybody involved. In the meantime, we've got 15 minutes plus stoppage time of an international in which both these sides are desperate for a win. Mawutai, her pass created the goal earlier on for Arukau, who's since gone off. Eileen Peggy's been an absolute menace for the Fijian defence today, the number 10. She's still full of running. Nassau plays it forward. Solo, awkward one over the shoulder. As well to hook it away in the end. Probably the wisest decision. Wasn't quite sure who was lurking behind her. Dialowe. Unusually bad touch for Sophie Dialowe. Brief change of position with Philomena Rasia about 5 minutes ago, but they've switched back again now. The skipper's a bit further forward. Here she is, been presented to it by Votu. Jotavini Tabua doesn't mind a hit from distance. We saw that in the first half. Charged down by Mawutai, away from Peggy. Buka just come on and not afraid to have a go either. Routine stop though from Kafella. Good win from Buka. Torres touch and Donga Gogoni is going to get away here. Alma Gogoni. Tora back. Had a little nibble. It will be a free kick surely. Rachel Mitchelton's pulled it back, and this is on the corner of the penalty area. Alma Gogoni just luring the challenge from Malioni Tora. And Solomon Islands, well, they've got themselves a free kick in a very promising position here, with just over 12 minutes left on the clock. Can they find a way through what would be a very famous victory for them? The win over Papua New Guinea was well received back home. Reams of newspaper coverage all over the TV channels as well. This would be just as well received. Edith Nari with a free kick. Clips it towards the far post, but too much on it. Not her best. Central defender who's hit many a better free kick this week, let alone in her career. Tabua just pulled up there when she played that ball through. A little bit of cramp perhaps. The rain would have made this pitch pretty heavy to play on. Dialowe away from Peggy. That's ricocheted rather fortunately to Thema Nassau, who's in here. It's Nassau for Fiji. Sliding challenge from Nari. Had to be timed to perfection and was. Nassau still across. Still might come here for Kumar. Does come for a wicked effort from Tabua. And it wasn't far away at all from Jotavini Tabua. Thema Nassau just drifting past the challenge. Wonderful tackle from Edith Nari. And that volley from Tabua, well, that's her fourth effort and she's getting closer. Margaret Kafella, glad to see that one flash past her left-hand post. probably hear the bellows of encouragement through our effects mic for the Fijians. DLOA's won it back, swung into the middle. Oh, this drifted and hit the crossbar. She was looking for Tamani Tuakula. It came off the side of the boot and it almost dropped in over the head of Kafela. And Sophie DLOA almost scored an absolute scross. Fiji pressing now. They feel they can win it. 10 minutes for either of these sides to find a way through. We'll get a bit of stoppage time. Hasn't been too many lengthy stoppages in this half so far. Donga eased off it. DLOA looking to swing it into the penalty area again, but too many green shirts there. Solosaya. Bit of a fortunate ricochet for Moatai. Fleming Seretz left playing ball boy there. Fijian coach, worldly travels. Also the coach of the men's national team in Fiji. Stints all over the world, he was telling us when we had a chat earlier in the week. Danish nationality. Bobby Mims down there as well, his assistant, lives on one of the Fijian islands. Former Tottenham Hotspur goalkeeper and Everton goalkeeper, of course. For those of you with long memories, might remember him in a cup final back in the mid-80s. Buka charged down. Here's Solosaya looking for Donga. Gogoni 5 up in this attack for the Solomon Islands. Saini. Well, the hopeful lofted ball. Gogoni will chase it because that's her want, and she's got there. Brilliantly done by Gogoni. Can she find the cutback? Tora, like a magnet to the ball back there, Marioni Tora. Just positions herself in the penalty area and it always seems to find her. That's a lovely ball as well. One to chase for the Fijians. Just a bit overhit from Liku Dhula. Thema Nassau felt that she was blocked off the ball as an imploring look at Rachel Mitchinson, who just waves away the appeals. Will we see a winner? Louisa Tamani Tuakula with the tap-in after the great work from Thema Nassau 5 minutes before the break gave Fiji the lead. A good ball through from substitute Francina Mautai found Madeleine Audokau, who found the equaliser 11 minutes after the resumption. Challenge from Votu. Looks to send it down the middle. Solusai wanted it to feet. She's been given something to chase and she will keep chasing it. And that was calmly done by Funga. A cool head amidst the crisis at the back. I'm not sure she was particularly happy with the back pass, but she dealt with it nevertheless. Kama. It's a meaty challenge from Solosaya rather. She's made an impression since she's come on, Lorena Solosaya, as she did the other day. Without their first choice centre forward, of course, today, Jemino David, who scored 3 goals in his competition. Ikama into the area, sliding into the challenge with Tabua. Tora got it away, more by luck than judgment on that occasion. She's allowed a couple of streaky ones, considering the tournament she's put in. 6 minutes to play. Will we find a winner, or will we get a repeat of that OFC group stage game, which ended 1 apiece? Torres headed down. Ikama gets in front of Dialowe, and then might find Solosaya here. Left-footed efforts, and it was a good one too, and needed to be held by Funga. Otherwise, Donga and Gogoni were following up. Monster kick from the keeper. Opening up here Tabua. Kumar got a touch. That may have put it into the path of Tamani Toakula. Ikama, a bit short for Votu, but she's made it her own. And the pressure from Tabua results in a throw-in for Fiji, who get on with it quickly. Sophie Diallowe to take. Solomon Islands back in numbers as Diallowe sends it into the penalty area. Themanasau got a piece of it, not too much, and then Liku Thula. Well, she was leaning back when she hit it, and it didn't trouble Margaret Kafella. Good ball in from Diallowe then. Themanasau didn't quite get enough purchase on her header, but it fell nicely for Liku Thula. Might be a little disappointed she didn't at least test Kafella in the Solomon Islands goal. Tora, firm header forward again. Solo away. Booker. Kumar plays it square, and Tabua's ball finds Nassau, who goes down under the challenge and gets a free kick. Fair distance from goal. Might just be on the limit of range with Themanasau, who's picking herself up. She's teeing it up here. Themanasau, she fancies this. She was the one that was fouled, and she's going to go for goal, you would think, the way she was angling that ball. Kafella will need to be on their toes. Will it be a striker? Will it be a chip into the area? Nassau lifts it in towards the far post, and Kafella gets two hands on it. Lacked the pace, really, to trouble the goalkeeper. Are we set for a dramatic conclusion? You can see how serious both coaches have taken this match. Usually in friendly international you see a raft of substitutions, but Fiji have only made 2. Solomon Islands have only made 3, and one of those was enforced. Tamani Toakula wants the throw, goes the other way. Any goal now you would think would be the winner. Booker. Peggy back there defending out onto the hill. 2 minutes plus stoppage time by my watch. Charlie Saini with the throw. In the sunshine now at Seaford Oval, Saini. Booker. Tora. Gracia. Can Fiji find a good ball forward? Votu got there, finds Ikama. Something on the break perhaps for the Solomon Islands. Votu, a little bit tired. Really found her there. There's a sense of urgency amongst both these sides. They're not settling for a draw. They don't want to draw. Still in play. Somehow Votu kept that in. Solo Saya, Veronica forced to just kick it out. Into the final 60 seconds. Will there be a dramatic conclusion? Diallowe got a header on it. Tabua high into the sky. Difficult one. Looking into the sun for Nari. Saini helped her out. Mawatai. Solosaya. Tora clips it forward. Nari and Saini playing a bit of head tennis. Booker, half charge down. Donga will chase. And then left one in on Booker. It will be a Fijian free kick, and that might well take us through to stoppage time. The board ready to go up to tell us how many minutes are left of this international encounter. Solomon Islands 1, Fiji 1. 3 minutes is shown on the board. 3 minutes to find a match-winning goal. That's Fiji who send it forward. It might come here for Tora at the other end. Further away than she used to be from her own goal. Kafella was there though. Bounce to be awkward here. Solosaya with Veronica, who wins it on 2 occasions. Liku Thula wants to find Nassau. Plays it one further on and it almost forced its way through to Dialowe. Tamani Tuakula can't keep it in. Margaret Kafella was yellow carded in the first half for a fairly hefty challenge on Thema-Nassau. Played a minute of the 3 that have been indicated. Solo. Vertu. Only presents it to Dialowe. Some tired bodies out there. Nari. Tora. That's some hit from a long way out. Marioni Tora thought she saw the space past Kafella. Couldn't quite find the accuracy required. Judging on what we've seen, from a personal opinion, I think the draw is probably a fair result. Both these sides can make a claim that they could have won this, and still might. Fiji looking for one last opening. Rasia. Mawatai sends it forwards. Bartram Suri playing ball boy for the Solomon Islands. The coach, Fiji, Tabua. Solosaya can't get a foot on it. Peggy rather slices it. Solosaya might be interested in this. And the break. Look at Thula back helping out. It's going to find Gogoni though. Is it the Solomon Islands with seconds remaining? Solosaya. And meanwhile, a foot race and a chance for Fiji. Tamani Tuakula, could she win it at the death? Stings the palms of Kafella with a firm strike. That might be the last chance. Louisa Tamani Tuakula, a fierce drive, but Kafella stood strong when needed to preserve the team's draw. We're now into the realms of whatever seconds or minutes Rachel Mitchelton's added to the 3. And there's not going to be any more, and we have to settle for a hard-earned draw between these 2 great nations. They fought toe-to-toe this morning. It's been an epic encounter. Right at the death there, Louisa Tamani Tuakula might have won it for Fiji. Margaret Kafella made sure she didn't. Her goal in the first half, though, gave the Fijians the lead. It was counted out by Madeleine Araucau's equaliser 11 minutes after the break. And in the end, well, a very entertaining match here at Seaford Oval has finished all square. Solomon Islands 1, Fiji 1.